Hi everyone, and welcome to Appear Unplugged, the podcast where we unplug from our desk and daily job to meet the people behind Appear.
We are your hosts. I'm Madison.
And I'm Margot.
And we'll be bringing you some stories, insights, and conversations from inside Appear, a tech company that is changing the game in media processing and content delivery.
So whether you're curious about our business, the people beyond Appear success, or just want to hear stories from amazing experts shaping the future of the media tech industry, it's the place for you.
With that said, grab your headphones, get comfy, and let's dive right into this episode of Appear Unplugged with Margot and Samuel, who works as an R&D engineer at Appear.
Samuel,
Hello, Margot.
you're the first guest
I
of
am.
this new series, this podcast. And before we start, we need to break the ice a bit.
Okay.
So you just said it's a bakery bag.
Yes, it looked like a bakery bag.
What's in the bag?
Can I feel it?
Yes, you can feel it.
Kanelbolle?
Yes.
It actually
But Kanel what?
snö.
You say Kanelsnö. I say Kanelbolle.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's
Slightly different.
it's cinnamon bun in the UK.
Exactly.
But yeah, when I found out that cinnamon buns are a big thing in Norway, I love them.
So it's my, I brought cinnamon bun because I love Kanelbolle. It's like my absolute obsession since I moved to Norway.
Yeah.
So I tried a few places. So we're gonna rank that place. I think I tried this one. It's the one by, I think it's a little cafe around the corner, Motherfucking Cafe.
It's in Motherfucking done that. Yeah, I've never actually been.
So here your little Kanelbolle.
Oh,
Right.
Listen to
And let's make it a oh goodness.
looks good.
That's really nice. Just gonna have a little bite.
Oh, so fat then. Go for that. Cheers.
That's it. I like the texture.
It's a bit cardamom-y.
It's very cardamom-y.
Yeah. Don't know if it's my favorite. There's a great place in Portugal, a bakery that I go past that has, every time I go past it, go in for the Kanelbolle there.
Well, I have one favorite spot. It's WB Samsung.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
I think they won Best Kanelbolle last year in Oslo.
Oh.
I recommend. I mean, it's buttery. It's perfect. I'm French, so
Yeah.
it's all about the butter.
Mm.
To get to know you a bit better, I think you prepped few
Yes.
truths and false for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So let's go.
2 truths and 1 lie.
Yeah.
I have never broken a bone in my body.
Okay.
One time when hiking, I electrocuted myself on a fence 4 times. The same fence 4 times
Oh.
on a single hike.
Okay.
And then the day before my first day of school, actually the night, I spent 6 hours in accident and emergency because I spilled glow-in-the-dark fluid on my eye.
Yes. I think the false is you never broke bones in your body.
I've never broken a bone in my body.
All right. You had too many details on the last one. So the fence story.
Yeah, no. If I see an electric fence, I avoid it. I hate electric shock.
Oh, so when did you move to Norway again?
So I moved at the beginning of October. 2nd of October, I arrived and started in Appear on the 9th. So a week later.
So how did you end up from Cambridge,
Yeah,
Oslo?
yeah. So I was looking for a job in Norway, and I was looking for many places. Within Norway, the software engineering communities are based around predominantly Oslo. And so I looked at various places in the Darwin and whatever, and then I came across Appear and was convinced that this was a great place to work. It was, everything I saw about it online was just such high kind of expectations and high results for a company. And it's an industry that really interests me, right? It's, when you speak about the customer base and kind of who uses Appear products, it's basically who's who in big video kind of technology industry. So I was just absolutely enamored of the idea of working for Appear in video technology. And so kind of, I applied and I was lucky enough I got the job. I got the job after a couple months. It was really nerve-wracking period because I hadn't actually done a tech or like any sort of software engineering interview before. So it's, a new experience for me, but it was very...
Because you come from Cambridge, you studied engineering at uni?
Yeah. So I started software engineering when I was 16, 17. because my dad's a software engineer. And so I kind of followed in his footsteps, then studied at Swansea University, doing computer science, then kind of worked for Sophos for a couple of years before moving here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we have a lot of different nationalities.
Yeah.
I think we're 30 plus now, which is absolutely fascinating to me. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most international companies in Oslo, to be honest. I've never met anybody working in such an international environment. So you said you searched for a job, probably love as well, because we all have like two theories. You came to Norway as an expat for specifically a job, or for love.
Are you calling me not an expert?
You're definitely an expert, but
no, my partner's here, so she lives in Portugal.
That's good.
And so it's it's definitely nice to be less long distance.
Yes,
even if it is a 2-hour train ride now, it's a little shorter than a 2-hour plane flight.
Yeah, Norway is quite a very different country from Cambridge, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's there are hills.
Yeah,
Cambridge is all flat, but no, it's the way I like to put it is when you fly over the UK, you see all the kind of reservoirs and lakes, and they're all like very kind of man-made sizes and shapes, and then you get over Norway, and it's all just looks like how nature is meant to look like. I'm absolutely in love with the scenery here.
Wow.
It's a beautiful country.
Yes, it really is. And you've seen the winter now.
Yeah.
You're going to experience the summer soon.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Right. So the Mediatech industry, of course, is like one specific industry. You could have worked in many others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, why the Mediatech industry? I think it's pretty competitive out there for software engineers.
Yeah, it's well, it was what interested me. It's a different industry to what I was in previously, but it's an exciting new challenge. There's clearly a lot of very experienced people at this company particularly, and so there's a lot to learn. And when you're talking to a family member who doesn't know about the industry, it's like you can drop all the I do this, that, the other, and actually my product helped make this TV stream happen. And it's I think from that kind of side of it, it's quite fun to be here and get to, name drop we work with this person, but, in terms of the actual technology, it's super cool kind of understanding all these different formats and, various ways that you would never think about normally. And in that way, it's a super exciting role because you get exposed to that and get to really see what goes on between, being recorded at a stadium to ending up on a TV screen.
Yeah. So you work with the XC platform. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, as a new R&D engineer, what's the thing that surprised you the most, or you are the most curious about on that specific product?
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about the product is you get to see the history of it, right? Because it's the product that Appear as a company was built from, and so being able to, as an engineer, go through and see the years of code and see kind of the changes and the advancements that have been made from kind of the early beginnings is really cool to me. There are plenty of technology that I hadn't explored before, and kind of even today, it's because it's such a big product and we're quite a small team. It's really exciting, and you're learning something new every day because you have to. It's not kind of confined to just one area. It's such a broad product. And you need to be a bit of a jack of all trades in order to kind of understand it and get to grips with it. And in that way, it's, exciting and surprising every time you come to it, because it's a new challenge and a new obstacle that you have to face. And, it's, the team themselves are great in the sense that, everyone wants to learn and everyone wants to help, but, no one knows everything. In fact, there are probably some areas of the code that no one in the team's touched just because we haven't had to. But if a bug comes up there, it'll be a fun exercise to see kind of how people approach it and get that experience.
So you're definitely in the march of like, you need to kind of be curious and like roll your sleeve and
100%
by doing.
Yeah, no, I'm a big believer in that kind of philosophy. It's curiosity. I think it killed the cat, but it's I think it's a great way to teach yourself is being curious and wanting to learn.
Yeah.
And, XC as a product really, allows for you to do that in kind of a way that, I don't think I've experienced before because I wasn't working on legacy products at my previous company. So it's a really exciting opportunity to kind of get hands stuck in and really kind of be curious about the product and be curious about the industry and kind of the history behind it to solve problems.
Do you think it's something that's specifically, specific to Appear, to have this very curious, almost DNA? Because I feel like, I work on the marketing side, the commercial team, I feel like everybody is kind of in this same mindset of being curious, trying new things. Is it something you think specifically to us as a company, or have you experienced it before in other engineering teams?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I think it's company-wide thing. Right? It's curiosity leads innovation. You've got to strive into the unknown, and it's unknown. So you've got to be curious about it and kind of want to find out and want to know kind of where the future of audio video technology is. And so in that case, all of our products have done that, and all of our products are continuing to do that. It's not just on kind of the high levels of what will the product be, but it's on the low level of the kind of the engineers. It's when you walk around, you hear people having these discussions and bouncing ideas and trying to properly educate themselves and learn more, so that kind of with a better understanding, you can build a better picture and, create a better piece of artwork at the end. Yeah.
And I feel like you've also, I heard you took kind of the lead on an internal project about the whole project management restructuration.
Yep.
And I think it's pretty cool because you're still new.
Yeah.
And, you kind of want to understand as well how the business works. So very internal focus to improve processes, improve the way we work.
Yeah.
So how did you end up leading that project?
Yeah, no, it's something that I'm very passionate about. I think that, a bad workman blames his tools. So if you want to be a good workman, you should also have a good tool set, right, at your disposal. And it's definitely something that I've kind of felt as a working professional, is that the tools that I have and the tools that I use in my day-to-day are what really kind of makes my workday enjoyable. And so kind of I want to ensure that everyone at Appear gets that same kind of quality of life when it comes to working day to day.
Yeah.
And so kind of when the opportunity arose to join this team, it was something that I felt passionate about. And so really wanted to take on that opportunity to kind of help Daniela kind of with that initiative. And then kind of it just almost fell into my lap. It's obviously the kind of the business side of it and the more professional side of it, outside of development, is something that I'm passionate about, learning, being curious about as we go back to it, and kind of wanting to, excel as a person and, kind of, broaden my horizons in terms of my skill set. So when the opportunity arose, it was definitely something that I felt I could throw myself into, and really, because I am very passionate about it, and gain a great insight into kind of how these projects happen and how these projects work. And, Appear as a company have very well facilitated that, and, been kind of happy to allow me to learn and given me all the, I've been able to talk to everyone from the top to the bottom and kind of get insights from them. And, I've never felt, I shouldn't be doing this, if you know what I mean.
I felt it. So it's going to be my 6th year out of here.
Yeah.
Almost a senior.
Almost.
But, through those years, it's definitely like if there is a project or something that you're passionate about, it can quickly end up on your desk.
Yeah.
Because you want to.
Exactly.
I think it's great to have opportunity to be able to kind of broaden your horizon and not only doing your job, but actually being involved in other projects.
Yeah. And I think it's great in terms of kind of getting to know the faces. I think as software engineers go, it's fairly easy to kind of just stay remained in your own world, right? And kind of, I'm a software engineer, I should only talk to software engineers and maybe my line manager. But kind of, I definitely think intercompany communication is a great thing, and kind of being able to say you've got friends in other departments and kind of just get an insight into kind of how the company works outside of just your one zone, really. It's very easy to be focused on your own skill set and think I'm the most important role, but every part of the human body combines to make, things happen. And it's the same for a company, right? We couldn't run without finance or HR or marketing or sales or, support or development or product. And so in that sense, kind of it's great to be able to get a window into those.
So there's something I'm interesting about it. The whole, how do you measure target goals from a R&D engineer? Because if you think about commercial, we have specific target or marketing,
Yeah.
we launch campaign, we have, specific deliverables, etc., etc. R&D is more product launch, at least development that can take years, months. How do you approach, target and staying motivating through the whole process of, for instance, now we are launching the new product at X5 coming soon. It's going to take months, development.
It's definitely kind of, everyone's different, right? Within marketing, it's, how many videos you put out, how many views. And in that sense, I guess you can measure with, how productive a team is by, seeing how many tickets or tasks they're doing or how many bugs they're fixing or how quickly they do them. But in another sense, you've got to kind of consider the size of them, right? It's if one piece of work is going to take 3 weeks, you've got to take the human side of that and go, okay, well, they've done it in 3 weeks. Even if they've only done one piece of work, it's a big piece of work. And it's different to someone doing 3 pieces of 1 week work that, they could be valued the same. And so it's, I think it's kind of, you can measure by these metrics, but you've got to take it with a grain of salt and an understanding of kind of the scale of work that's being considered, not just how many pieces of work or how long it takes. But at the end of the day, it is when does the product get released? It's you can between each month you can say, oh well, we've done more work than we did last month. But if in September you're not releasing or whatever it is, then you're falling a bit behind.
Yeah. So we touched quickly upon it, like the whole working environment and culture. So I actually checked, and it seems like we are in 2 different generations. I'm a millennial and you're a Zoomer.
Am I a Zoomer? Okay.
And I'm like, as a young professional engineer in a different country, what are your expectations from like a workplace?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm someone who believes, I'm quite a big fan of face-to-face contact. I'm definitely a social butterfly. So it's nice being able to go into an office and see people and, chat at the coffee machine, and just say hi to people. But kind of in terms of, working environment, there is a sense of professionalism that you expect. Everyone can have differing opinions, but as long as you respect them and are allowed to share them and reach a common goal, and it's something I'm quite passionate about is that respect for each other in the working environment and ensuring that everyone is happy and kind of all on the same page, right? You might be parts of different paragraphs, different, sections of it, but you're all trying to make a book.
So would you say you're kind of you're the guy bringing everyone together?
I'd like to think so. I definitely think I'm one of the more sociable people on the team, right? And so I'm definitely someone who probably does a little more talking than a little less coding, but trying to make sure I balance it.
So do you think, I always think about it like as an expat, if we had an edge being educated in a different country with a different culture coming into Norway, bringing our own little touch. What's your touch, do you think, as a Cambridge?
What's my touch? I don't know. I think, I guess one part of it is, if people ever are wanting to know how to translate something into English, I can provide a bit of insight. I don't know. I think it's, everyone's different, and so I'd never say that something I have is necessarily better or worse than something someone else has. But I think kind of that's the brilliant part about it is everyone is different. And so kind of something that I'm good at will complement something that I'm bad at that someone else can give me as a skill set. And, maybe I'm a bit gobby for being an Englishman and everyone speaks my language here and I don't understand Norwegian, or maybe, maybe it's something I should tone back on, but I think joining an international company and a company such as Appear, where, as you said, is probably one of the most widely international companies in Oslo, is such an opportunity to kind of gain that insight and gain that understanding about, different skills and kind of use that to better yourselves as people and better yourselves in your career.
I completely agree. I think it's really a really interesting, journey, and you learn from so many different people. It's pretty cool to share stories after holiday when everybody went home. India, China, Spain, and the US. It's super cool.
100%.
So as a closing question,
okay,
I want to ask you, what will be the thing you miss if you had to go back to Cambridge?
Tesco meal deals.
What is that?
A Tesco meal deal. So, okay, do you know Tesco, the shop?
Yeah.
So in the UK, you can buy a meal deal. It's not necessarily Tesco, but it's like for £3.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that, like 450 krona? No, 45 krona. There we go. You can get two sandwiches, a drink, and a packet of crisps. And it is the best thing because it's, you know how much it's going to cost. You can pick any drink, any sandwich, and any crisps, or it could be a chocolate bar, or, or a coffee, or a sushi sometimes, and
For 40.
5 krona.
Wow. It's the price of probably the Kanelbolle.
Yeah. I know. Exactly. But I miss it. I go home. The first thing I do is, like, I live with my family. I can have all the food I want, but I go across the road and I buy a Tesco meal deal.
Tesco meal. All right.
I miss it.
Well, thank you so much, Samuel.
Thank you for having me.
Being here.
Thank you for the Kanelbolle.
See you at the coffee machine.
Yeah, I'll see you at the coffee machine.
See ya.